What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, a brand new series that's going to be hitting the channel, another one today. I know that's absolutely crazy. Well, what we're going to be doing is doing some strategy and moveset videos, so mainly about the movesets and sort of trying to work out different ways to have sets that could fit onto your teams, because there's more than one way to play a Pokemon, and more than one way to team build and stuff like that, so maybe you might find a set that you find really useful. So what these are sort of ranked to an extent, just because in terms of how good they are, I think, for most teams, and how easy they are to put on teams, going down to like slightly more memey ones for some of these. I don't think we've got any memey ones for Zygarde, but some of the later ones I might throw in a bonus like meme set just for a bit of a joke or something like that. So Zygarde has had a incredible buff this generation in the ability Power Construct. So what Power Construct is, if this Zygarde gets down below 50% of its HP, then it transforms into this thing, this monstrosity, which is Zygarde Complete. Now look at that stat, 216 in HP. No increase in attack or anything else, but just the HP stat. I mean, there's a little bit drop in speed, but mainly it's the HP stat that's the most incredible thing. Like, my mind blows with how much bulk this guy gets. Like, it's absolutely insane. I think at max HP, someone was telling me, it lives a Life Orb Weavile's Icicle Crash. That's just insane, absolutely insane how bulky this guy is. So we've got some interesting sets for you guys. This one is the one we're going to be starting off with, because apparently I was talking to Ryan and he recommended this set, and it does look pretty deadly, I must admit. So this set is a Rest Talk set with Dragon Lance. This guy is designed to be bulky, start off with, you know, a good amount of HP investment with a good amount of attack investment. And what you do is you start Dragon Dancing up, take a couple of hits until you transform back into Zygarde. Then what you can do is you can then, I think once you transform, you stay transformed if I remember correctly. You can rest up, you can sleep talk, and you're basically very bulky. Outside of ice coverage, if they don't have ice moves to be able to take you on, they're going to really struggle to kill you. And then you've got rest, sleep talk, and then 1,000 arrows. So you may be thinking, wait, we're going for a ground move when there's flying types in the tier and levitate users and stuff like that. That's the beauty of 1,000 arrows. 1,000 arrows sacrifices 10 base power compared to Earthquake, but it means that it hits flying type Pokemon. It's neutral to flying type. It also hits Levitate, Air Balloon, pretty much, it basically hits everything, which is really crazy. So what that means is you don't need to be running a secondary stab or anything like that. You can literally run the set, Dragon Dance up, rest, sleep talk with 1,000 arrows, and you just basically slowly Dragon Dance up, being bulky, being really hard to tank, and it doesn't matter if your sleep talks hit Dragon Dance or 1,000 arrows, it's going to make a huge difference anyway from there, and it allows you to then sweep. Next up, we've got a more conventional one, going back to these sorts of old OU days, where it's a slight adaptation of this set, where what we've got is a set with Leftovers and Aura Break. We've got the substitutes there with Coil, 1,000 Arrows, and Dragon Tail. So basically this set is designed to be fat, really difficult to try and take out. I think we should have had an odd HP on there. There you go. So we set up the subs, and once we start coiling up, and especially if we manage to transform, we shouldn't have Aura Break, we should have Power Construct. All these should have Power Construct. So once we then turn into this form, if we're getting these boosts to our physical defense, there's going to be very few things that are going to be breaking our sub. So this guy basically just slowly sets up, puts the pressure on a more defensive way. We can Dragon Tail, start phasing Pokemon. 1,000 Arrows allows us to hit all the flying types and stuff like that, even things that resist like the flying steels, like Celesteela and stuff like that. 1,000 Arrows is neutral too, so we can still take it on from there. That's the other thing. Even though we hit the flying types, it's regardless of whether there's their secondary typing, it's always neutral to them. So even though Celesteela's got that secondary typing of steel, it means that it's still not super effective, if that makes sense. And basically we're just fat, we coil up, we just keep setting up, and then we start phasing the opponent, spinning them around until basically they give up from there. Now we got a more conventional Dragon Dance set, which is also very threatening. To be honest, there's not really much of an order. All of these ones are very scary to try and face. But this guy is particularly scary because it allows you to Dragon Dance up. You've not got the best speed in the world, I must admit, and you outspeed by Scarf Genesect and stuff like that. But basically, you just have to judge it on the team, when you want to set up, and whether you're going to be able to get 2 Dragon Dances up or not. And the only real sad thing about Zygarde is it doesn't get Dragon Stab outside of Outrage. So you can either go for Outrage here, or you can go for I don't know, it's like, yeah, because you could go for Draco, that's probably the only other thing, like, it doesn't, or Core Enforcer, which, like, it doesn't get any physical dragon moves, which is always very frustrating, so you kind of have to use Outrage if you want to use this set and you want Dragon Stab, but you can always change that move out. That move's very much flexible. Thousand Arrows is much better than Earthquake in my opinion, so that's why it's there, and then we've got the sort of Edgequake combination there between the two. The only downside with the set, obviously, was with Outrage and the amount of fairies running around, you have to make sure there's no fairies left before you click Outrage. But to be fair, even if you're not clicking Outrage, these other two moves are still going to be hitting very hard, especially Thousand Arrows with the Life Orb and Stab is going to be very good. And if you get down to that Power Construct mode with, Zygarde Complete, you're going to be very bulky as well and very hard to revenge kill, which is going to be pretty cool. This is just the same variation, but instead you've got Lumberry. It's kind of a choice between the two. Lumberry basically allows you to set up on status users, whereas Life Orb allows you just more immediate power, which I personally lean more towards because you've only got base 100 attack from there. Next, we've got more of a supportive set, which shouldn't have Aura Break as well. They all should have Power Construct. I will make sure they're all Power Constructs. There you go. So this one's a more defensive set. So it's take on the old OU set, which is the Sub-Glare set. And basically this guy is designed to be tanky, very much as a sort of physical wall. And you start Earthquake. Oh no, you shouldn't have Earthquake. You should have 1,000 Arrows. Here you go. 1,000 Arrows, Dragon Tail, and Sub allows you to sub up. Dragon Tail starts sending things around, and then 1,000 Arrows hits things from there. Not the best set, I must admit, for this metagame. I think it's definitely an option, but there's a few things like Tapu Bulu that don't really care a huge amount. Like, while 1,000 Arrows isn't reduced in power because it's not Earthquake and stuff like that, because only grassy terrain stops Earthquake from, makes Earthquake half power, it doesn't stop 1,000 Arrows. It's still probably not the most optimal set for the tier at the time, but that's more of the more sort of memey side. I would definitely be sticking with these first 4 sets, if anything. So, there you go, guys. Those are the main sets I would go for. In terms of teammates, you definitely want some things that are going to be able to absorb any Ice-type moves and stuff like that. Toxapex could be pretty good, because Toxapex plus, the Coil set or something like that could be a very difficult set, to try and beat, because if they're trying to work out whether to go for the Ice Beam or not, then most of the time they're going to have to click Ice Beam because they're in a position where they can't say no and click another move because you're going to be smacking them in the face if they don't. So being able to pair it up with Toxapex could be pretty good. I'm trying to think of what else. Possibly Tapu Fini, if that's the water, yeah, the water fairy one can also be very nice as well, because that also allows you to take the ice moves. It is also a very nice fairy type, so it takes any of the dragon moves. So you want more to go more around the sort of defensive side with this one, I would definitely say. And then you might want to try and have a think of some sort of offensive pairings to go with Zygarde. I'm trying to think if there's any off the top of my head, because this is a very threatening set, and I think by itself it still stands alone pretty well. I would say you might want to try and invest in some good fairy killers and just be able to use those to first of all eliminate any fairies that are on your opponent's team, so that way you can then spam Outrage for free from there. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think of these moveset videos / strategy videos, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoy doing these ones. I like doing the sort of meta-analysis and giving some set suggestions to you guys and hopefully helping you guys with your team building as well. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Let me know what you think. Let me know as well if there's any sets that you think are useful. And yeah, I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.